A black screen. One phone ping breaks the silence, and somehow your body already knows exactly what it means. You've been on the apps for 8 months, long enough for hope to start feeling like another daily chore. You've swiped through thousands of profiles, gone on 6 first dates this year, and watched every possibility dissolve into nothing. Then, around month 5, a quiet thought arrived uninvited. Maybe the app is fine, and maybe you're the problem. Picture yourself alone on the couch, phone in hand, half your face lit while the room disappears around you. Let's say the part out loud, before the algorithm gets another word in. You're not the problem here. The apps were not mainly designed to make you fulfilled. They were designed to make you come back tomorrow. The swipe, the match, the like, that tiny breath of relief when someone likes you back all feel helpful. But those little moments are tuned toward one metric, and it is not your happiness or long-term connection. Behind the soft colors and friendly buttons, the line executives watch most closely is time spent inside the app. As long as you do not understand the game, you will blame yourself for rules built against you. So let that land for a second. The exhaustion may not be proof that you are doing dating wrong. To see why, we have to leave your couch and enter a strange little laboratory from the 1940s. In 1948, psychologist B.F. Skinner built a box to study how behavior could be shaped by rewards. Inside the box was a pigeon, a small disc on the wall, and a tray where food pellets could drop. At first, the rule was simple. When the pigeon pecked the disc, food appeared in the tray. The pigeon learned fast. Action, reward. Peck the disc, get fed. The world inside the box made sense. Then Skinner changed the rules, and the experiment stopped being simple in the exact way that matters. Now the disc lit up unpredictably. The pigeon pecked once, twice, again, and sometimes absolutely nothing happened. Sometimes food came after 3 pecks, sometimes after 20. The reward was still real, but the pattern disappeared. Instead of quitting, the pigeon pressed harder, as if uncertainty itself had made the reward feel more urgent. The pecking became frantic and obsessive, less like hunger, more like being trapped inside a loop of maybe. Now place that box beside a phone, and the comparison gets uncomfortable. Peck, swipe, waiting. The rhythm is nearly identical. Repeat the action, wait for something good, get nothing, then repeat again. Skinner found the cruel twist. Unpredictable rewards do not calm the brain down. They make it chase harder. Psychologists call this intermittent variable reward, a technical name for never knowing when the next payoff arrives. But you do not need the textbook phrase. You already know the feeling in your thumb and chest. You open the app, and most swipes lead nowhere. Just blank space where possibility was supposed to be. Then, occasionally, a match appears, and that tiny flash of possibility is enough to restart the whole chase. It is not just a notification. It feels like relief, proof, and permission to hope again. Your brain starts learning the wrong lesson. Persistence might pay off if you can just keep going. So every new profile carries a quiet promise. Maybe the next swipe is finally the person you were waiting for. And the damaging conclusion sneaks in. Maybe you are not failing because of the app, but because you stopped too soon. That is the psychology. Now look at the business model sitting underneath it, quietly shaping the game. On a clean chart, revenue per user rises with time spent inside the app. The lines tell a story. Your attention becomes money through subscriptions, boosts, ads, and data, each one feeding the platform while you search. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The moment you find a partner, you stop being a customer. Your subscription cancels. Your ad views vanish. Your data stops flowing. The machine loses what it measured. From the platform's perspective, a paired-off user is not a success story. It is a lost revenue stream. That does not require a secret conspiracy. It is simply a structural incentive built into the business model. The algorithm wins when you keep returning, searching, comparing, waiting, and believing one more swipe might finally change everything. Back on the couch, the phone no longer feels romantic. It looks like a small machine asking for another round. That exhaustion is not proof you are failing at dating. It is proof you became very good at being used. Sit with that for a second. What helps the app succeed may be the opposite of what helps you connect. Once you see the incentive structure, the whole experience changes. The app stops feeling neutral and starts looking designed. You stop asking why they did not reply and start asking whether the system ever showed you compatible people. You stop treating every quiet inbox as a profile flaw and start wondering what behavior the algorithm actually rewards. Because behavior that looks attractive to an app is not always behavior that builds trust, patience, or real connection. Slow, thoughtful people can disappear in systems built for quick engagement, fast replies, and constant visible activity. Rejection feels personal, even when it passed through ranking, timing, distance, visibility, and a dozen invisible filters first. So stop internalizing signals from a machine that can profit when your loneliness keeps you opening the door again. Now the shift gets practical. Small changes, used consistently, can turn the app from a loop into a tool. First, use dating apps as discovery tools, not relationship pipelines. They can open doors, not carry you through them. An app can introduce two names on a screen. It cannot build trust, timing, chemistry, or presence for them. Second, set a strict time limit before you open it. Decide the boundary while your brain is still calm. That boundary matters because boredom is exactly where the app can turn a spare minute into compulsive searching. Third, move promising conversations offline within a week. If there's real interest, give it real air. Endless messaging often builds fantasy, anxiety, and performance. Connection needs more than perfectly timed bubbles on a screen. Fourth, treat a match as a handshake, not a verdict. It is contact, not a measurement of your worth. A match means two people briefly beat the algorithm at the same time. Nothing more magical and nothing more absolute. So make the toolkit visible. Time limits, real locations, and actual conversations, not endless swiping disguised as romantic effort. Fewer intentional swipes can protect you better than hundreds of empty ones, because attention spent carelessly still costs something. Optimization has a cost. It can turn people into profiles, and profiles into disposable options you barely remember. When the app shows endless abundance, your brain freezes. Everyone starts feeling replaceable before anyone is actually known. The habit trains you to evaluate strangers quickly, harshly, and repeatedly, as if speed were the same as wisdom. But real attraction often grows through context, voice, timing, and presence, the very things a swipe cannot measure. For one moment, imagine the interface replaced by a conversation, imperfect pauses, actual laughter, and someone becoming more than data. But here is the darker twist. Understanding the system does not make you immune to what it does. Knowing the slot machine is rigged does not stop your body from leaning forward when the wheels spin. Your pulse can still jump when a match appears, or when a message bubble lights up after silence. The same reward system that makes the app feel exciting is also what makes it so hard to quit. That is not a failure of willpower. It is a feature of human biology being carefully activated. The old box and the modern phone are different objects, but the loop is painfully familiar. Peck, swipe, wait. Awareness does not erase the craving, but it creates a little distance between the urge and your next move. And naming what is happening is the first step toward choosing something other than the automatic response. So the break can be simple. Close the app, turn the phone over, and interrupt the loop physically. Taking a break is not giving up on love. It is refusing to confuse addiction with effort. The person on the couch stands up, and that small movement matters. The body leaves the posture of waiting. Natural light enters the room, not as a miracle, but as a reminder that reality is bigger than the screen. Here is the one specific exercise to try the next time your thumb opens a dating app automatically. Next time you open the app, pause for 10 seconds before swiping. Let the automatic loop break before it starts. Inside that pause, ask one honest question. Am I looking for a person, or am I looking for a feeling? The feeling may be relief, validation, novelty, or that little dopamine ping that says, for a second, you were chosen. If that is what you're chasing, close the app. Do not feed the machine another swipe just to soothe yourself. Cravings feel urgent because they want immediate fuel. Wait a few minutes, and most of that pressure simply passes. And the person who could actually be right for you will not vanish because you waited 3 minutes to breathe. Use the app when you feel grounded, not when loneliness, boredom, or panic is already steering your hand. The goal is not to delete every app forever. It is to stop letting the app define what reality means. Dating is not performing for a machine. It is meeting people, hearing voices, noticing timing, and letting context matter again. Your worth was never accurately measured by likes, replies, match frequency, or how often an algorithm decided to show you. Then the phone pings again, the same tiny sound from the beginning, but now it lands in a different mind. This time they hear it. They notice the pull, but their hand stays still beside the table. The silence after the ping feels different now. Not like rejection, not like failure, more like choice returning. These apps are powerful because they exploit normal human hope, not because you are weak, needy, or bad at dating. Hope is not the enemy. The problem begins when hope is packaged into an endless interface that never says enough. So protect your attention as carefully as you protect your heart. Both are too valuable to rent out unconsciously. You have been on the apps for 8 months. Same sentence as before. Same facts. A different frame now. It is not an indictment of you. It is a moment of recognition. The box worked exactly as designed. The screen fades toward black. The phone remains untouched on the table, no longer the center of the room. In the silence, the choice is finally visible. Keep swiping inside the box or step outside it.